Water gardening has continued to gain in popularity over the last 8 to 10 years. Here in Oklahoma, water gardens are popping up in backyards all across the state. We have water garden societies in several communities around Oklahoma, and water garden tours, almost a yearly occurrence throughout our state. Well, there are some issues that we need to be aware of concerning some of the plants that we use in our water gardens. And joining us today is Keith Thomas of the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife to tell us about some of those issues. So Keith, what are some of the problems with some of our plants in our water gardens?
Steve, some of the plants that are coming in, they're exotic, tropical aquatic plants, and they're causing problems in some of our aquatic systems across the state. Some creeks and streams, small ponds, lakes, where they're creating large infestations and choking out native flora and fauna.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff just takes over, and we're real concerned about that. We've seen that nationwide, and particularly the southeast part of the country. And we're trying to get the word out to people that we need to be careful with the stuff.
Okay, so these plants are sort of out competing our native plants.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. Causing some
They're
problems.
very aggressive. Yeah, very tough growing. I mean, they're very hardy.
Okay. Well, a lot of these plants are tropical plants, and I know a lot of people here in Oklahoma would say, you know, our winters get so cold. How can a tropical plant do any damage in our waterways?
We get that a lot. That's probably the main question in our talks. We're going around the state talking to the master gardening groups. Sure. And water garden societies. And some of that stuff is true. I mean, some of the tropical stuff just will not overwinter here. Although we've had such mild winters here the last few years, some of that stuff has made it. So. But most of the stuff on the species on the prohibited list and our species to watch list does just fine here and overwinters, and so yeah. And a lot of the stuff is even from like Central Europe. It's not just tropical stuff. It's Sure. Stuff coming from this latitude. And Sure. It does just fine, so you really got to be careful with it. So,
well, you guys have some literature
right.
explaining some of these problem plants
right
here.
We sure do. This is a poster that we put together, a brochure that it's called "Don't Free Lily," kind of a catch on the movie Free Willy, right? And the one side has our prohibited species list, and then it has some examples. Not all the photographs are on there, but some of the ones that we're really concerned about here in Oklahoma, some that are already here, and some that we know could cause problems here because they're already in the surrounding border states, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. We're just trying to get this out to as many vendors that handle the stuff, the plants in the state, and also the water garden societies, tropical fish enthusiasts, anybody, even boaters. There's some of the stuff that can be like the hydrilla that can be transported by boat trailers and boats, boat props and motors, things like that. So we're just trying to get the word out to everybody. Okay. And so we're trying to distribute this poster all around the state. We've had it out for a couple of years now, and we're just wanting to let people know that there are lists for Oklahoma, and they have to be careful with what they have.
Okay.
The other side is our species to watch list, which means they are not prohibited, but they're ones that we're concerned about. They could cause problems given certain conditions.
I recognize a lot of those on there.
Yeah, and there's
I see some in our very own gardens, like the sweet flag, Iris pseudochorus.
Right. Yep. The wild taro.
Yeah, we have that in one of our small water gardens here. The parrot's feather and the water hyacinth, very very common plants. Right. And these are again not prohibited. These are just species to kind of keep an eye on and be careful with.
Right. Exactly.
So Keith, when we say we need to be careful with these, what are some things that we need to not do? Obviously, the nurseries aren't supposed to offer for sale those on the prohibited list, but if we already have some of these plants in our water gardens that are, say, prohibited, what are some things we should not do?
We definitely want people to, we realize the stuff is out, I keep saying stuff, it's out there.
Sure.
And we just want to let people know about the lists, and if they have the stuff, to take care of it, be careful with it, don't spread it.
Don't give it away.
Don't give it away. I know there's a lot of trading and swapping that goes on, but if you have an abundance of the stuff, go ahead and compost it, burn it,
okay,
whatever. But we see a lot of people with, like for instance, water hyacinth. It's so pretty, they don't want to kill it. They'd rather release it or give it to somebody else, take it to a lake or a pond or the creek running behind the house or alongside the house, and they release it. And
big no-no.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Okay.
So if you have any of these species, just be careful with the stuff, and don't give it away, or don't release it.
You guys aren't going to be the water garden police and come and take it from the garden, right?
No, no, we're not. We don't want to do that, and
sure.
I don't think we could do that. Yeah. So, but this is what our program's all about, and I'd just like to mention there on the poster too. It's also Langston University, their aquaculture program, helped in a large part to put this pamphlet together.
Okay. So where can folks pick up these pamphlets?
Most of our fisheries installations across the state, our headquarters on 18th and Lincoln, they have a bunch of them, so you can call them up and they'll mail you one, or you can drop by and pick one up.
Okay, and if folks call your office, you guys can get them one? Or
right.
Do you have a website as well?
Yes, the department's website is wildlifedepartment.com, and you can go to that, and it has the lists on our website already, but it also has some phone numbers and stuff on there where they can call, and they can get the pamphlet that way. So.
Well, I think it's a lot of good information. You guys have definitely put a lot of work into getting these prohibited lists and the species to watch list together, and I even like the recommended native substitutes that you have on the poster as well. Right. So Keith, I really appreciate you giving us this information.
Thank you, Steve.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.